You and your tattoo. What you need to know. Chapter 1. The history of tattoos. Tattoos have a rich history of tradition, dating back thousands and thousands of years. Throughout the course of time, there has always been an important role of tradition and ritual behind tattoos. In the past, women in Borneo used tattoos as a way to mark their skills. Tattoos were also used in the past as a way to ward away illnesses and disease, by placing the tattoo around the fingers and on the wrist. Throughout history, tattoos have also been used to symbolize a clan, or society, as well. The purpose of tattoos has differed from culture to culture throughout the course of time. Research has shown that the earliest tattoos come from Egypt during the time of the pyramids, although most believe they started much earlier. Egyptians at this time were believed to use tattoos as a way to mark the slaves and the peasants. Tattoos spread to China and then on to Greece, where the Greeks used tattoos as a way to communicate among spies. Along the way, Japan also incorporated the use of tattoos as well. The Japanese people used tattoos for religious and ceremonial rites. During this era, Borneo women were the artists. They produced the designs that indicated the individual's point in life and the tribe that he was affiliated with. Tattoos were very popular during these days, although infections were quite common. Tattoos were a long way from being perfected, which showed in the way they were done. Tattoos were shown in the western regions as well, although they were not well accepted at first. William Dampier, who was once an explorer, was the man who reintroduced tattoos to the western areas. He brought a heavily tattooed prince to the area, showing off his tattoos with exhibitions. He made quite a bit of money with these attractions, which in turn made tattoos very popular and well desired throughout London and surrounding areas. Chatham Square, which is located in New York City, was the first place to feature American-style tattoos. During the turn of the century, Chatham Square attracted people from all over the United States, especially those with money. A man by the name of Samuel O'Reilly set up shop in Chatham Square, becoming the first man to use an electric tattoo gun. In the beginning, the now popular tattoo gun was based on the electric pin, invented by Thomas Edison, that used a needlepoint to puncture paper. The electric tattoo gun features moving coils, a needle bar and tube, which are common components of today's guns. The electric gun was very popular, allowing those who wanted a tattoo to get one at a great price. These guns helped to revolutionize tattoos and allowed the tattoo artists to give tattoos fairly fast as well. People took to this new technology in flux, making it by far the best and most efficient way to get tattoos. These days, tattoos are very common, with nearly 1/2 of the population in the United States having at least one tattoo. They are still common with bikers and clans, symbolizing that one is a member. There are millions of designs out there for tattoos, including different color combinations, that have helped to make tattoos the phenomenon they are today. Chapter 2. Information to know before getting a tattoo. Before you decide to get a tattoo, you should always take a little bit of time to talk to your tattoo artist. When you speak to him, you should be sure to ask questions and find out anything you can about your new tattoo. You should also find out information about his background, and other important bits of information that will assist you in moving forward with your decision. The first thing you should find out is how long the parlor has been in business. This will let you know just how professional the quality of tattoo work is, and the overall reputation for the business. If the tattoo parlor belongs to the Better Business Bureau, you can always check the record and see if any complaints have been filed about the business in the last few years. You should also find out about his qualifications as well. Experience is a must here, as infections and other diseases can easily be contracted if the equipment is not clean. Tattoo artists deal with needles on a daily basis, making experience very important. Finding out how much experience and qualifications a tattoo artist has will tell you quite a bit about what you can expect from them. You will also want to find out if the tattoo studio guarantees their work. In the unlikely event that you do not like the outcome of the tattoo, you'll obviously want it to be fixed. The better studios will fix it without requiring any money. Refund policies are also important, especially if you do not like the quality or the workmanship of the tattoo. The cost is also very important. Before you decide to get a tattoo or agree to anything, you will obviously want to know the full cost. The bigger tattoos can be quite expensive, although even the smallest of tattoos can be expensive as well, especially if you are on a budget. You can save yourself a lot of time and prevent any type of surprises by knowing the costs up front. Infection is also something you will want to find out about. The better tattoo artists can provide information about infections and tell you how to prevent them. They will also tell you about their services and how they can prevent you from getting an infection. When you ask about infections, he should also be able to tell you exactly what to do if you think you are developing an infection as well. If you suffer from a fear of needles, you should always ask if there is a way to help you. You should never feel bad about asking, as many people are deathly afraid of needles. Needles are used with tattoos, as there is no other way to put the ink in the skin. If you are afraid of getting a tattoo due to the needles, you should make sure that you let your tattoo artist know. Chances are, he may be able to take extra steps to make the process go as smoothly as possible. Asking questions is never a bad thing when it comes to getting a tattoo. If a tattoo artist hesitates to answer any question you ask, or acts hasty towards you, you should always leave and find another tattoo artist. Tattoos always have risks and concern, which is why tattoo artists should be more than willing to answer any questions that you may have. Asking questions can help to ease your concern and make you pay, which is why you should always make sure you write a list of questions before you visit the tattoo parlor. Chapter 3. Choosing your tattoo parlor. Once you have made the decision to get a tattoo, you will need to find a qualified tattoo parlor. This is a very important decision, as it can easily make or break your tattoo. Before you decide on a tattoo artist or tattoo parlor, you must first see if they are qualified. There are hundreds of thousands of tattoo parlors, some better than others. If you go to a less than perfect tattoo parlor, you could very well end up with an infection that can cause you more trouble than you ever thought possible. Finding out how long a parlor has been in business is very important, as this will tell you how much business the parlor receives. When you look for the best parlor, you should always watch for those who have the best history with keeping their equipment clean. Clean equipment and a clean studio is without a doubt the most important consideration when dealing with tattoos. If the artist is not licensed, or not a professional, there will be little to no guarantee that the equipment is clean. Health is a big concern with tattoos for most people, and for good reason. If you are looking to get a tattoo, you should always make sure that the artists are licensed, the parlor is clean, and the equipment is sanitized and cleaned after each and every tattoo. The best tattoo parlors will welcome you with open arms, anticipating your business. When you meet the tattoo artist, he should be friendly and not intimidate you at all, nor should he at any time attempt to push a design on you. Under no circumstances should the artist try and talk you into getting a more expensive tattoo design if all you want is something small and simple. Pushy sales and unfriendly salesmen are common pitfalls with most businesses. Tattoo parlors should always be friendly and open to what you want. Although the more experienced tattoo artists will offer their opinions, they should not try to push you around. If a tattoo artist thinks there will be a problem with your design, or if he thinks he can do anything to improve it, he will more than likely let you know. If he is able to save you some money, the higher quality tattoo artists will not think twice about doing so. Before you decide on a tattoo parlor to do your tattoo, you should always compare what is available to you and weigh out your options. The higher quality tattoo parlors will cost quite a bit of money, more than the other parlors. This is to be expected, as the higher quality studios cost more to pay their artists and keep their parlor nice and clean. These parlors are among the best in the world, with sparkling floors and a clean interior. The tattoo artists here ensure that their rooms are clean, with most wiping down their equipment and materials every chance they get. The ideal way to find tattoo parlors in your area, or close by, is to use the internet and search, or just open a local phone book. If you look for the keyword tattoos, you will find several that are relatively close to you. Once you have found some addresses, simply drive out there and take a look around. If you like what you see, you can always come back. You should not rush your decision, but instead look at what each tattoo parlor has to offer you. Chapter 4. The costs of tattoos. Tattoos have long been known to be very expensive, with the bigger ones costing up in the thousands. Although you may be able to find some designs and studios that are within your budget, you will still face some very important decisions. In the world of tattoos, you get what you pay for. If you have your own design that you want tattooed, tattoo artists will normally charge you by the hour. If you want the tattoo artist to design a tattoo for you, you will probably end up paying more. Depending on the size and location of the tattoo, you can easily spend thousands. Tattoos that cover the entire back, for example, can cost you as much as $15,000. The best thing to do is to find a studio and design that you like, and then look into how much it will cost you. You should always look for the cleanest and most sanitary studio first. Once you have found a sanitary tattoo studio, you should meet the tattoo artists and talk to them a bit to see how friendly they are. When you look at the prices of the tattoos, you should never sacrifice quality for price. Even though a studio may cost you more, the quality will normally be better than other tattoo studios in the area. Although you may be able to find a tattoo studio that will do their work for a cheap price, you should never rush into getting a tattoo strictly for the price. Even though a cheap price may sound good, the quality of the work could be lacking. Tattoo studios that charge expensive prices normally do so because they have the best artists and the best quality work. Once you have chosen a studio and had your tattoo done, you should always make sure to tip your artist. If he does exceptional work, you should make it well worth his time and give him a nice tip. Tattoo artists who do high-quality work love to get tips, and they will always appreciate your business if you treat them as good as they treat you. Chapter 5. Pros and cons of tattoos. These days, tattoos are more common than ever. Tattoos have gained quite a bit in popularity over the years, giving people a chance to stand out and broadcast who they really are. Men and women alike have tattoos, some covering their entire body. The choice is entirely up to you though, as you can get a tattoo in virtually any size you want. Even though there are many good things about tattoos, there are bad things as well. Among the good things about tattoos include the chance to broadcast who you are, the chance to be you, and the chance to stand out. Most people who get tattoos get them for the symbolic meaning. Although there are some who get tattoos strictly for the look, many end up regretting getting the tattoo later on in life. Tattoos are great for show, although the design itself should hold some meaning. There are a variety of designs and colors to choose from, which helps to add to the positive benefits of tattoos. You can check out many designs at your local tattoo studio, in books and magazines, and on the internet. The internet is a great resource for tattoo designs, as there are literally thousands to look at. You can also look at pictures of those who have tattoos, so you can get an idea as to what a certain style will look like once it has been finished. The cons of tattoos are pretty straightforward. Tattoos work by piercing the skin with the needle and injecting little gobs of ink. With that being said, the risk of infection when getting a tattoo is always there. If the tattoo artist is not sanitary and does not clean his equipment after every use, the risk of infection will be much higher. Another thing to worry about with tattoos is removal. If you later decide that you do not want the tattoo, you will have to pay an expensive price to have it surgically removed. Surgery carries risks and complications as well. In some cases, those who have got tattoos have had to have the tattoo removed due to infection. In these cases the infection has gotten so bad that there really is no other choice than to get the tattoo removed. No matter how you look at it, there will always be both pros and cons with tattoos. Before you decide to get a tattoo, you should make sure that the design you have picked out is something that you can see yourself with for years to come. If there is any doubt in your mind about the tattoo, you should not get it. Even though it may seem cool at the time, the price for removal and the complications with surgery may not be worth it in the long run. Chapter 6. Tattoo Safety. The process of tattooing involves needles that move at very fast speeds to penetrate the outer layers of the skin. The needles break the skin and inject dots of ink into the third layer, creating the image of the tattoo design in the skin. Whenever you are getting a tattoo, common sense and a bit of safety are always the most important considerations. When getting a tattoo, most people fear getting the virus known as HIV, which can lead to the dreaded AIDS virus. Although many fear HIV, it is just one of the many viruses that can result from tattoos. Staph, syphilis, tuberculosis, and hepatitis are all but a few of the other diseases that can result from tattoos. All it takes is a dirty or unsanitary needle, and you could wind up contracting one of the deadly viruses listed above. Just like other activities, tattooing can be very dangerous. Although tattooing is indeed dangerous, there are ways that you can minimize or eliminate the potential dangers. Each and every day, tattoo artists have to adhere to a strict code of safety to ensure that the risk of contracting HIV, or any other diseases, is little to none. Professional tattoo artists will sterilize their equipment after each use. They use steam pressure autoclave when disinfecting their tattoo guns and needles. Bleach and alcohol do not sterilize the equipment. They are instead used to prep the equipment. Once the bleach and alcohol have been used on the instruments, they will then be autoclaved, which will sterilize them. When the tattoo artist does the tattoo, he should always wear rubber gloves that can easily be disposed of. The ointment spreaders and any type of rags that are used should also be disposable. When you walk into the tattoo studio, the floors should be spotless. In the rooms where the tattoos are done, the working area should always be clean and sanitary. Before the tattooist starts the tattoo, he should always give each customer a brand new set of fresh needles. Then, he should always dip the needle in a small cap of pigment that he just took out of a large, squeezable bottle. If the artist dips the needle into the big bottle, you may very well be sharing fluids with those who have had tattoos from that same big bottle. Whenever you decide to get a tattoo, you should always put safety first. Safety is very important with tattoos, as you could otherwise get a disease or a serious infection. Before you decide on a tattoo studio, you should always make sure that they are clean and sanitary. If you get a tattoo from a studio that is dirty or unsanitary, you could wind up on a never-ending spiral of infections and viruses. Chapter 7. Application Techniques of Tattoos. As we all know, tattoos are decorative markings in the skin, such as symbols, signs, and letters that are applied by puncturing the outer layer of the skin and injecting color. Tattoo guns are the best instrument to use, as they move extremely fast and are sharp enough to easily puncture the skin. There are several types of tattoo guns available, many of which use a very sharp needle. There are guns out there that use more than one needle, although they are not ideal for tattoos that require strict lines or designing. Single needle tattoo guns are the best for tattoo applications, although the needles need to be changed out after each tattoo. Tattoo needles can be very dangerous if they are not disposed of, possibly leading to serious infection, if they are used over and over again, without being disinfected or disposed of. There are also tattoos out there known as jailhouse tattoos. These types of tattoos are normally found in jails and prisons, using homemade material for tattoo guns. Normally, tattoo artists in jails and prisons will make their own guns, using batteries and needles for ordinary ink pens. These tattoos are not very safe, and normally lead to infection. The skin is punctured to inject the ink, Although with jailhouse tattoo guns the needle will literally pull and jerk at the skin, ripping it and normally going very deep with the ink. If the skin is jerked or ripped, it can result in the tattoo looking horrible. In most cases, if the ink goes too deep into the skin, it can lead to an infection. Deep ink also looks terrible as well, especially if it penetrates the third layer of skin. For that very reason, jailhouse tattoo applications are not recommended and should be avoided at all costs. With any tattoo, color is very important. Black and white are the most commonly used colors, although there are other colors used as well. Tattoos need to have an equal balance of color, along with the right shape. If the shapes used in your design follow the contours of your body, the tattoo will look even more impressive. Therefore, you should always have your tattoo applied by someone with a lot of experience. From a technical standpoint, tattoos involve micropigment implantation, as they are a form of body modification. Tattoos are a design in ink, normally symbolic or decorative, permanently placed under your skin. Tattoos have been around for hundreds of years, although tattoos in the past used everyday needles and ink, with a very high risk of infection. Although they are very common and very popular, tattoos always have risks. No matter what type of application method is involved, there will always be a risk of infection. Today, electronic tattoo machines are the most common methods of tattooing. With electronic tattoo guns, the ink is injected into the skin by a group of needles that are attached to a bar. The electronic gun moves very fast, going in and out of the skin hundreds of thousands of times per minute. If an experienced tattoo artist uses the gun, the results can be amazing. Experienced tattoo artists are always the way to go, as they have the experience to give you the results you want. With the right tattoo artist and the right application technique, you should have a tattoo that you can be proud of. Chapter 8. Minimizing the pain of tattoos. No matter what you may hear, there really is no way to predict the amount of pain that you will experience when getting a tattoo. If you arrive with determination and the right frame of mind, it may not hurt you as much as you thought. On the other hand, if you arrive at the studio scared half to death, it will more than likely hurt you more than you thought possible. Tattoos involve piercing into skin, which almost always involves pain. No matter how big or how small the tattoo may be or where it is located, you can expect to feel some pain. The overall amount of pain you experienced all depends on your tolerance. If you have a high pain tolerance, you may feel next to nothing during the entire process. When you get a tattoo, the needles will puncture your skin at very fast rates and variable depths. The outline of the tattoo is easily the most painful, as the needles will be used to create a black line that will stand out on the tattoo. This part needs to be inserted fairly deeply and carefully to ensure it is done correctly. The shading of the tattoo normally is not painful, although it depends on the penetration depth and effect that you desire. Normally, the pain you feel is a slight burn or scratching feeling. If the tattoo is going to be on an area where there is less bone and tissue such as the wrist or chest, the pain will be a bit more intense. Areas like the arms and legs, however, normally are not that painful. Areas such as these have more tissue and muscle, which will lessen the amount of pain you feel. Even though some pain is to be expected, there are ways that you can minimize the pain. Below are some tips that will help you deal with the pain. Never show up to get a tattoo on drugs or drunk. This will thin out your blood, causing you to bleed more. Always choose a tattoo artist that you are comfortable around. If you have confidence in your artist, you can minimize the pain a great deal. Show up at the studio with sheer determination. You should accept the fact that the tattoo will take time. Quality work is an art, and should never be rushed. If the pain becomes too much to bear, you should let your tattoo artist know immediately. He will allow you to take a break, or stop and come back later. You can always break up your sessions, as tattoos do not need to be finished immediately. To ease your mind, listen to music. This way, you can take your mind to a different place and focus on something other than the tattoo. Chapter 9. Picking your dream design. Tattoos represent an art form, and allow people to broadcast who they are. Even though they are popular, most people will end up regretting them. In most cases, those who regret tattoos did not think about their design, or take the time to choose the best tattoo for them. Even though it is possible to get a tattoo removed, the process is expensive and quite painful. To prevent this from happening, you should always take some time and find the perfect tattoo, your dream design. You should never choose a studio or artist based on how cheap they are. Cheaper artists and studios normally lack in work quality, which is why they are able to charge cheaper prices. Instead, you should look for the best studio and artist that you can find close to your area. Even though it may be expensive, the quality and design will be well worth it. For some, their dream design is a person. This can be a loved one, or someone who has passed on. You can always use a design, or symbol, that means something to you, and reminds you of them, or you can always use their face. Good tattoo artists can make magical tattoos with meaning, whether it is someone's face or a symbol that brings out meaning. Sometimes, it can be hard picking out your dream design. If you have an idea in mind, but are still not sure what you want, you can always research. You can get tattoo books, theme books, magazines, or just research online. By looking at designs, you may find something similar to what you are interested in. Once you have found it, all you need to do is sit down with your tattoo artists and come up with your dream tattoo design. If you have a basic idea for something small in mind, you can always have it tattooed, then come back later and have more added on. The best thing about tattoos is the fact that they can always be added to later. This can be a great thing if you want to try a smaller tattoo first, and then decide whether or not you want to get it bigger. If you start with a fraction of your dream design, you can always finish it up later on. Take time selecting the design. Tattoos will stay with you forever, which is why you should pick them carefully. If you put the necessary time and thought into it now, you will not regret it later. Your dream design should be very important, and hold meaning. This way, every time you look at it, you will be reminded of that special moment in time and you will never forget about it. Chapter 10. Popular Tattoo Designs. Let us take a look at some of the most popular tattoo designs. Tribal tattoos are among the most popular designs. They have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they are always evolving and becoming more and more complex with their designs and styles. Tribal tattoos can either be the traditional black style, that covers the arms and the legs, or the more colorful styles, that can cover every area of the body. The colorful, more modern look is becoming more and more popular when compared to other styles. The old-school styles of tattoos are also popular. Anchors, and things like that, are making a great comeback these days, and not just with sailors. They are rapidly gaining their popularity back, as females and males are getting anchors and swallow designs tattooed on them more and more. Lower back tattoos are the most common for women. The lower back is one of the most sexual and sensual areas on a woman, making it the ideal spot for a tattoo. Tribal designs are the most popular, although flowers, dragons, and other symbols make great tattoos as well. The lower back offers plenty of natural curves, which can make for an innovative tattoo. Oftentimes, women tend to include tribal that spreads, covering the base of their hips as well. Dragon designs are another popular type style of tattoos. They were popular in the past, and are now starting to get their popularity back. There are a lot of different dragons to choose from, including the mythical dragon and ancient Chinese dragon. Dragons are great on the chest for males and the back for females. Dragon tattoos can be virtually any size, although most males tend to have them cover one side of their chest or the upper region of their arms. Celtic tattoos are also popular as well. They are mostly seen with those who have a Celtic heritage, although some with no Celtic heritage have them as well. They offer a variety of symbols and designs, providing universal meanings for everyone. Oftentimes they are mixed with tribal tattoos to create a more innovative tattoo. There are several other types of tattoos out there, although the above are the most common. Tattoos can be very creative and innovative. It all depends on what you want. If you are looking to stand out and be truly creative, you can always have a professional tattoo artist design one for you. Chapter 11. Innovative Tribal Designs. In the world of tattoo designs, there are thousands of potential tattoos to choose from. Each and every day, there are new designs added to studios and online tattoo websites. Tattoos are becoming more and more popular these days, making the designs all the more important. Although flowers and other designs are popular, tribal designs seem to be among the most common. The one thing that sticks out with tribal tattoos is the innovation. Tribal tattoos feature unique artwork, with most being more or less solid black, with no other colors. Tribal can have several different meanings as well, as it all depends on the image that the artist is trying to bring to life. Tribal can either be a design that the artist already had, or the artist can take your feedback and do the entire tattoo freehand as he goes along. Experienced tattoo artists can normally do great work freehand, as it gives you the ability to make changes as he goes along. Some of the most popular designs with tribal tattoos include skulls and letters. Unique designs are also very popular, especially those that wrap around the arms or the back. Tribal can be put virtually anywhere on the body, just like any other tattoo. Depending on the tattoo design you have in mind, it may take quite a few hours before the artist has finished. With the larger tattoos, you may need to come back to have the work finished. Chapter 12. Celtic Tattoos. Celtic history goes back thousands and thousands of years. Early Celtic people were well known for their skills in artwork of jewelry, metal, and even weapons. They were warriors as well, regarded as fierce fighters by the Romans. Throughout Ireland, there are many examples and evidence of Celtic artwork and Celtic crosses. Over the years, modern Celtic evolved and established symbols for themselves along the way. Throughout North America, Celtic people often wear these symbols to let others know that they are of Celtic descent. The symbols and knowledge have been passed down through the years, as there is little written history. Tattooing, however, keeps the Celtic tradition alive with the infamous Celtic cross and other popular Celtic designs. Most Celtic tattoo designs come from Ireland, where the evidence of Celtic history is very strong indeed. The Trinity College found in Dublin, Ireland, contains many manuscripts that document the Celtic heritage and symbols. The height of Celtic tattooing, however, occurred during the era when stone and metal work was really popular. Celtic knot tattoos are some of the most popular and most common designs, featuring loops with no end that symbolize a never-ending cycle of dying and rebirth. There are also Celtic animal tattoo designs as well, which are similar in design to the knot tattoos, although the cores in the design normally terminate in heads, tails, and feet. The pure knot tattoo designs are normally never-ending, unless an individual adds an end to symbolize a spiral. The meaning behind the knots in Celtic tattoos defies any type of literal translation and is found at a much deeper level. The interlacing of the knots expresses the repeated crossing of both physical and the spiritual elements. The Strand's End or never-ending path is a popular design for Celtic tattoos, representing life, faith, and love. For many years, Celtics have used these designs for emotional as well as heritage purposes. Those who are from a Celtic descent, Irish, Scots, or Welsh, normally find a Celtic tattoo to be a great way to express their heritage pride. These tattoos help to re-establish pride and give tribute to one's ancestors. The tattoos are not easy to do, most taking several hours. Unlike other tattoo designs, Celtic tattoos are among the hardest designs in the world. If you are from a Celtic descent and have decided to get a Celtic tattoo, the first thing to do is find an artist capable of doing the tattoo. The designs are very difficult and not all tattoo artists can do them. It's always best to find a tattoo artist who has a background in Celtic designs, as this will ensure the tattoo is done correctly. The artist who does the tattoo needs to have an eye for detail and exact line placement, which is a skill that not all tattoo artists possess. Chapter 13. The meanings of flower tattoos. These days, more and more women are getting tattoos. As more women decide to get tattoos, flower designs continue to rise in popularity. The best thing about flower tattoos is the fact that there are many different colors and types of flowers, providing many different meanings as well. The flowers can mean a few different things, although specific types of flowers, such as the rose and the lily, may have a more specific meaning. In general, flower tattoos have a connection with nature, bringing up thoughts and images of life and vitality. Anytime we look at a flower, we see the duration of life. Simply, flowers connect with us in the sense that we both grow. Flowers emerge from the earth and continue to grow on a daily basis. Then, the flowers bloom, knowing that they will later dry up and start to wilt away. Having a tattoo with a flower brings back the entire process known as life. Keep in mind, however, that different colors and flowers on tattoos will symbolize other things as well. White flower tattoos symbolize purity, while red flower tattoos can symbolize a burning passion. There are many colors and designs available, giving plenty of meaning to those desiring flower tattoos. Roses are the most common flower design for tattoos, symbolizing love. Centuries ago, roses were tattooed on those who were sentenced to death. If they were to escape from the gallows, the rose tattoo would serve as a symbol to easily recognize them. These days, roses symbolize both love and passion. Roses have long been known as a romantic flower, popular for special occasions with the ones we love. In the western regions, rose tattoos are a symbol of love and purity. In the eastern regions, however, love and purity are symbolized by a lotus flower. Tattoos that feature lotus flowers also bring a little more meaning to the table. Lotus tattoos are also known to symbolize fortune, peace, beauty, and goodness. Even though roses are the most popular tattoos in North America, lotus flower tattoos are more common in other regions. Other examples include the acacia flower tattoo, which is the symbol for love and friendship. There are some people with Irish heritage who choose to get tattoos with the flower known as the bells of Ireland. This flower is well known throughout Ireland, with the tattoo symbolizing good luck. Irish who have this tattoo are known to be lucky, or have an insane trend with luck. Those who think of themselves as being the perfect lover may want to get a tulip tattooed on their arm. Tattoos with tulips represent passionate love and fame for being a great lover. If you happen to be shy and timid, you may want to go with the violet flower tattoo instead. Violets are common tattoos for those who are shy and timid, and enjoy taking things slow. Those wanting to symbolize wisdom and virtue, on the other hand, would be well to get an iris. Magnolias are also common with flower tattoos, as they symbolize an individual's love for nature. Flower tattoos are very common and popular designs these days, giving plenty of meaning behind their beauty. The flowers can be large, or small, and as bold as you wish them to be. No matter which flower you have decided to use with your tattoo, you can ensure that the flower says the meaning you are looking for. Chapter 14. Free tattoo designs. With the internet being so popular these days, many people often turn to the internet for free tattoo designs. For most of us, free is always the way to go. When you stop and think about it, a free tattoo design sounds a lot better than paying for one at a tattoo studio. The fact about it is simple. Someone could just as easily draw their tattoo design themselves and then pay the tattoo artist to put the tattoo on them. If you give it some thought, you may begin to wonder if free tattoo designs are actually worth it in the end. The fact of them being free is always great, although you may wonder if the design is something you would like to display permanently on your body. When you show your new tattoo to friends, they may think negative thoughts when you tell them that you got the design free off the internet. Each and every time you show your tattoo, people will want to know about the message and the design, which you will probably need to think about. All of us are familiar with the old saying, "You get what you pay for." And it's truly no different in this scenario. Although there are hundreds and hundreds of websites on the internet that provide free tattoo designs, few of them are really worth the interest. Most of the free designs out there on the internet are very poor quality. Therefore, it would be in your best interest to wait and have a professional tattoo artist make the design for you. Those who choose to go with free tattoo designs will tell you that tattoos are very expensive, and they cannot afford to have a professional tattoo artist draw up the design. Some people, when dealing with custom tattoo designs, will say that their tattoo artist does not do custom designs or that he just does not want to do theirs. Although most of this may be true to an extent, there truly is no better way to get a tattoo than using a design made by a professional tattoo artist. As most already know, free tattoo designs are normally made by those who know next to nothing about tattoo designing. In most cases, these designs are made by someone who is looking to make a quick profit, instead of a true professional tattoo artist. You can easily tell that they are not professional quality simply by looking at them. Most free designs have poor quality, poor lines, and oftentimes the work appears to be made on a personal computer. You certainly would not want to use something like this with your tattoo, simply because you will be showing it the rest of your life. If you spend a lot of time searching on the internet for free tattoo designs, you may be able to find a few with good quality. There are some good quality designs out there, although you will probably have to search quite a bit to find them. It is best to have an idea in mind about the tattoo you want, and then look for it that way. Although it may take you some time, you could very well find it. If you do come across it as a free tattoo design, you should always triple check the quality before you decide to have it done. Chapter 15. Tongue tattoos. Although tattoos are very popular, the new trend that is rapidly taking effect in the world of tattoos is known as tongue tattoos. Although many are not familiar with tongue tattoos yet, they are just now starting to take shape. They resemble other designs and styles, although they cover the muscle known as the tongue. There are tattoos that cover the entire tongue, or just a single area. In most cases, those who already have them chose to have their tongue tattooed a certain color. Whether it be purple, orange, black, or blue, the tongue can be tattooed a variety of different colors. The designs that are popular with tongue tattoos include stars, tribal work, and other shapes and designs that cover a region of the tongue. Stars are popular with the lower area of the tongue, near the tip. There are also designs that can be tattooed farther back on the tongue, near the middle of it. As tongue tattoos become more and more popular, more and more designs are implemented. As far as the procedure goes, it's very similar to getting a tattoo on any other part of your body. The tongue, just like the skin, will swallow the pigments once the surface has been punctured by the needle. Once the pigments of ink are absorbed by the tongue, the color will remain there forever. Those who have had tongue tattoos in the past say that they are not very painful. Unlike tattoos on the skin, the tongue is a giant muscle. A tattoo on the tongue is often described as a tickling sensation, or the feeling of numbness in your mouth. When the tattoo artist does the tattoo, he will normally use a tool to hold the tongue out. If you have ever had a tongue piercing, you will know what it looks like. Once the tongue is out, the artist will begin work. If a tongue tattoo sounds interesting to you, the first thing to do is find a tattoo artist in your area who is experienced with doing them. Not a lot of tattoo artists are familiar with tongue tattoos, as they are just now beginning to surface. Chapter 16. Caring for a new tattoo. Good tattoo artists will clean and apply antiseptic ointment to your tattoo as they create it. Expert artists know that this helps keep the tattoo healthy. Once the tattoo is finished, the artist will wipe it down, clean it off well, and apply another coat of antiseptic ointment. Once the ointment has been applied, he will put a piece of soft tissue or cellophane over the tattoo. Once the tattoo is finished, the artist should tell you how to take care of your new tattoo. Some of the better artists will talk to you and give you a detailed sheet with all of the information you need. If you went to a tattoo artist who did not explain this to you, you may be wondering just what you should do. Taking care of a tattoo is not hard, as long as you know what you can and cannot do. After getting your tattoo, if you notice any swelling or excessive redness around the tattoo, you should visit a doctor immediately to find out if the tattoo is infected. In most cases, tattoo infections can be treated with medicine. If the infection is severe, you may be admitted to the hospital, so they can further treat you. In the more severe cases, you may end up having to get the tattoo removed to prevent further infection. Removing a tattoo requires surgery, which also involves risks as well. When you first get home with your new tattoo, you should never hop right in the shower. You should keep it dry for the first few days, but also clean it every few hours. Before you touch the tattoo or clean it, you should always make sure that your hands are clean. If you keep your hands clean, you will have less worry about infection. You will also want to visit your local drugstore and purchase a tube of A&D ointment. A&D ointment is the best to use. A&D will keep your tattoo clean and shiny and should be used for the first few days. Once the ointment starts to dry on the tattoo, you should wipe the old application off and apply some more. Do not rub it too hard, or you could damage the healing process. For the first few days, you should avoid using soap as well. A&D ointment will keep your tattoo healthy, which you will notice the first time you apply it. After you stop using it, you should use an unscented body lotion. You want to avoid body lotions that have scents, as they can easily irritate the tender skin that resides under your tattoo. After you have used the lotion for a few days, you can stop using it. Most tattoos, after they have healed, tend to leave a scab in some areas. If your tattoo has a scab, you should try not to pick at it. If you are not careful, you could end up damaging your design. The best thing to do if you have a scab is to leave it alone. You can put A&D ointment on it if you want, as most of the time a scab will itch. A tattoo can be a great thing to have, providing you take care of it. Tattoos will stay with you for the rest of your life, unless you choose to get them surgically removed. Taking care of your tattoo now will keep it healthy and infection-free in the long run. Chapter 17. Time and tattoos. Over time, tattoos will change with the skin because of the wind, sun, regeneration, water, and other things. The way a tattoo looks and the design will also change with the skin as it shrinks, stretches, and ages. The pigment that makes up the tattoo will remain essentially the same, although tanning and wrinkles can affect the color and clarity of the tattoo. The overall length of time that a tattoo stays healthy and vibrant in color all depends on how well it was taken care of after it was completed, and how the skin is taken care of afterwards. Even though infection is always a concern with tattoos, you must also promote healing in the sense of retaining as much ink as you possibly can. Most tattoos will heal completely within a few short weeks, although they must be kept moist to prevent scabbing. If allowed to scab, the scab that forms will remove some of the color from the tattoo. The number one enemy of tattoos is the sun. Just like other colors that are exposed to sunlight, the pigments found in tattoos will fade. Yellow and red are the hardest colors to maintain over time, blue and black are the easiest and most stable to maintain. Tattoos are considered to be part of the organism of living skin and need to be maintained to keep the color alive and fresh. If you are going to be out in the sun, you should always cover your tattoos and wear a quality sunscreen as well, just to be on the safe side. Tattoos that have been properly applied, properly healed, and protected from the rays of the sun can remain their best for years and years. Although the colors will remain vibrant as well, time and the sun are definite enemies for tattoos. No matter how well you take care of your tattoos and protect them, there really is no escape from changes that come as a result of time itself. Chapter 18. Things to expect from tattoo removal. At some point or another or for various reasons, people often make the decision to get their tattoo removed. In some cases, the tattoo will reflect a lost love, and sometimes the tattoo will be something that the individual does not want anymore. Whatever the cause may be, getting a tattoo removed is a decision that takes quite a bit of time and thought. If you have been thinking about getting a tattoo removed, you will need to start out by making an appointment with a local doctor, dermatologist, or plastic surgeon, and discuss your options. Your doctor will look over the tattoo, the condition of the tattoo, and which methods he thinks will work best for the removal. All methods of tattoo removal do require a medical procedure, which in itself will carry along risks and side effects. Even though you may be getting a simple procedure, there may be complications with it as well. For this very reason, you should always consider getting a tattoo removed very carefully. It's very important that you be extremely sure you want the tattoo removed before you proceed with any type of tattoo removal procedure. Your doctor or dermatologist will be able to explain to you step by step how the procedure works, how long it will take to complete, and the type of recovery that you can expect. As you probably already know, the procedure site will be quite tender for a long period of time and will more than likely result in scarring. As time goes by, the scarring will tend to lessen eventually to the point where it is not all that visible. The answer to scarring, however, all depends on the tattoo's size. If you have a large tattoo, the scarring result will be more than that of a smaller tattoo. Depending on where you have the tattoo that you want removed, you may notice quite a bit of pain. Certain areas of the body, such as the chest and elbows, are more sensitive than other areas. The costs of getting a tattoo removed can be very expensive. If the tattoo is a large one, the expenses can be outrageous. Most insurance companies will not pay for these costs unless there is a medical or health reason involved. With insurance not paying for the removal of the tattoo, you will need to pay costs out of pocket. You should always talk to your doctor and make payment arrangements beforehand. Getting a tattoo removed can be expensive, painful, and impose risks that you will need to think about. Even though you can get a tattoo removed, many wonder if it's worth it. The best way to deal with tattoos and their removal is to avoid getting them in the first place, especially if there is any doubt in your mind that you may not want them later on. Chapter 19. Tattoo Removal Options. Currently, there are two options to remove tattoos that are rapidly becoming more and more popular: laser technology and light-based technology. Both surgeries use light energy to destroy the ink in the tattoo. The ink in the tattoo will absorb the energy of the light, breaking it up. Once the ink starts to break up, it can easily be passed through and out of your body through filtering. In most cases this is extremely safe, as the ink is broken down into micro size to where it can easily pass through the body with no complications. The process is actually similar to the surgery in which hair is removed. The surgeon or doctor who performs the surgery will hold a wand to the skin that is being treated. As he does this, the pulses of light are aimed at the tattoo, breaking up the ink. The wand is normally held right up against the tattoo, as this makes the pulses of light much more effective. Normally, the feeling that you will experience is best described as an elastic or rubber band flicking constantly against your skin. If the tattoo is big, the pain could certainly be a bit more intense. The area where the tattoo is at is also important, as sensitive areas may cause you quite a bit of pain and discomfort. If the area in which you have the tattoo does not have a lot of muscle or tissue, you will more than likely want to be numbed as much as possible before starting the procedure. Both laser and light-based treatments are somewhat similar. With both tattoo removal procedures, the doctor that is doing the procedure will always apply a cooling gel to the tattoo area that is being treated to cool the skin and conduct the energy of the light. This cooling gel helps to draw the light and at the same time protect your skin. The gel will feel cool to the touch and it will help your skin when the light pulses start to break the ink apart. If you have been thinking about having a tattoo removed, you should consider both light and laser-based procedures. Keep in mind that they are both expensive, and both impose risks. Depending on how big your tattoo is, and what the procedure involves, you may need to spend a night or two in the hospital. Chapter 20. Summary: tattoos are created by injecting ink into the skin. Tattoo artists accomplish this by using an electric-powered tattoo gun that almost sounds like the drill a dentist uses. The tattoo gun has a needle that moves up and down, putting the ink into the skin rapidly. The needle in the gun punctures the skin and deposits a small drop of ink with each puncture. One of the biggest concerns regarding tattoos has always been safety. Tattoo machines work by puncturing the skin and injecting ink into the tattoo site. Whenever you are dealing with puncture wounds, there is always a risk of infection and disease. Because of these risks, tattoo applications are always focused on safety. Tattoo artists should always use sterile equipment, disposable materials, and proper sanitation to ensure protection for themselves and their customers. To help prevent the risk of contamination, almost all tattoo materials, such as ink cups, needles, and gloves are for single use only. Needles should never be used a second time, as they can lead to infection. Most of the single-use products will arrive at the tattoo studio in sterile packaging, where the artist can open it up in front of you before he starts his work. Before they start the tattoo artists should always wash their hands with soap and water and check themselves for abrasions and cuts. After doing so, they will clean and disinfect their work area with the appropriate disinfectants. As they do this, they will normally explain to you what they are doing and how the sterilization process works. Once they have cleaned the area, they will then start to open their equipment from the sterile boxes. After the artist has opened everything, he will shave the area for the tattoo and disinfect it with water and soap. Once he starts the tattoo, the pain will all depend on your tolerance. Some people say that it feels like being pinched, while others describe it as a slight poking with needles. Your overall pain tolerance, the location and size of the tattoo, and the experience of the tattoo artist, will all be contributing factors to how much pain you will feel. The location is extremely important. If you are getting a tattoo in a sensitive area, it will probably hurt a bit more. The tattoo artist will clean the tattoo throughout the process, and again once he has finished. Once he has finished, he will put some ointment on the tattoo and cover it. He will also explain how you should take care of it and what you can and cannot do. Most tattoo artists will give you a sheet to take home that contains detailed instructions on caring for your new tattoo. If you have any questions, you should not hesitate to ask when he is going over your care instructions. When you get home, you should always follow those instructions. Taking care of your new tattoo is very important and may very well determine your risk of infection. Tattoos can be a great thing to have, providing you take care of them.